Social anxiety is taking over your life and it's ruining your life. Every interaction that you have with someone new will literally feel like an invisible weight suffocating you. Every interaction that you have with a girl will feel like the hardest thing you'll ever go through in life. If you go up to talk to the girl you like, your heart will be racing, you will be sweating, you will get the colds, you'll get the shivers, and you'll be struggling to form a sentence together. This used to be me as well. When you're young and you're socially anxious, you will struggle to achieve big things in life because you're simply afraid of being judged by others. You're afraid of being judged by family and friends, which will stop you from achieving the things that you want in life. Social anxiety will literally ruin your life if you don't take care of it now. Loneliness is one of the worst things a human can go through. It is one of the worst experiences to go through in life, and it's something that I don't wish anyone experiences because it is something that I experienced growing up. I used to be that scrawny, anxious, skinny teenager in school, and it really did affect my life in a lot of negative ways. So I'm going to help you overcome this. The first thing that really helped me overcome social anxiety was just making myself do uncomfortable things a lot. What I mean by this is because I found it really hard and very uncomfortable to go talk to new people, I used to create a challenge for myself where I would spend at least 10 minutes a day talking to new people. Because the more you can put yourself into uncomfortable situations, the better. Because your body and mind will get used to it. At first, it can feel like the most daunting and scariest experience that you can ever go through because it's something that you're really comfortable with and it can feel extremely awkward. However, it is something that you have to go through in order to grow as a person. Your first few interactions will be very awkward and it can feel very embarrassing, but you have to not take it personally and you just have to get through it, as it is a very necessary step and a very crucial step that needs to be overcome in order for you to progress as a person. When you have social anxiety, you always think about the worst case scenario whenever you do anything in life. Like, you always think about the worst possible thing that can happen. So talking to someone new can feel extremely daunting because you're probably thinking about the worst possible thing that could happen. And, it is going to take a while for you to overcome this. So just don't worry about it being very, very awkward at the start. Just focus on trying to overcome this hurdle as much as possible. And one exercise that you can do is just spending at least 5 to 10 minutes a day talking to someone new. Simple as that. It can either be at work, it could be at school, it can be anywhere. Before you know it, you'll reach a stage where you won't even recognize your old self anymore. Like, talking to people will just feel like second nature and you will just be so much more confident. I'm telling you, boys, living in a social anxious bubble is restricting you from doing so many things in life. Don't be a victim of your own anxiousness. Don't be a victim. Sometimes you just gotta tell your brain to just shut up and just do what you gotta do. You gotta act like you're the main character. You gotta treat life as if you're the main character. You gotta have that I'm him moments in life. Your life should feel like a video game. Create your own story, create your own life, and be the main character. Be kind to yourself because this is so important. Positive self-talk is so important when it comes to overcoming social anxiety. If you always just talk down on yourself and you always think negatively of yourself, it's gonna obviously start haunting you in many bad ways. It's easy to slip into bad habits and it's easy to go back to doing the things that you used to do. However, it's really important that you break these bad habits. There will be days where you find yourself feeling more anxious than other days. There will be days where you feel a lot more shitty about yourself. However, it's important that you get through these days because you want to make sure you don't slip back into your old habits. It is impossible to overcome social anxiety if you don't put yourself in situations that will make you feel anxious. This is the most important step when it comes to overcoming social anxiety, and that is facing your fears. If you have a fear of talking to girls or you're too scared to talk to that pretty girl that you saw at the bus or whatever, face your fears and do it, because the more often you can put yourself in comfortable situations, the better. Okay, if you get really nervous talking to girls or whatever, I want you to go and talk to as many girls as possible and just keep on doing it, because the more you do it, the easier it will get to just face your fears. You will reach a point where it will just become second nature and you don't even have to think twice about doing it. Social anxiety has held me back from achieving a lot of big things in my life, and I kind of wish I could go back and tell my teenage self to stop being so socially anxious all the time, because it really does hold you back a lot in life, and it's something that I don't want anyone to experience. And by doing these steps that I've just taught you guys, it helped me overcome social anxiety, and I'm the happiest and the most confident I've ever been. So it's really important that you do positive self-talk. It's really important that you face your fears, and it's really important that you put yourself in as many uncomfortable situations as possible, as it will help you grow so much as a person. I hope this video helped. If it did, please make sure to subscribe and like.